Call the meeting to order. Can I get motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion. A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Keith?
All right, for July 31st, we have a total of 13 million in cash, of which 10,299,000 is bad. So that leaves us with about 2,800,000 in quick funds, of which 1.2 million will be left available after we've paid off the checks this month. You see, if you looked on there, we cut over $500,000 worth of checks to pay down some projects. So hopefully we're gonna get, Kevin's gonna be submitting for Army Corps reimbursement, and we'll be eagerly awaiting their checks so that we can stay afloat for a while longer. But what that means is we've got a $790,000 maturity coming in on August 29th, and I'm gonna have to pull that back into operating funds.
That Army Corps reimbursement should be the amount of 1 million. It's, quick.
For Newcastle?
So I'm sorry, no, that was the total project cost of Newcastle. So Newcastle will get 600 back. For Yorktown, I would expect 200, I think, for the state. So it'll be a little bit less than that. So it'll be closer to 8 million, sorry, 800,000.
I'll take that.
800,000 that we'll be getting back from Army Corps. And as the contractor in Yorktown submits again, which we expect another big one to be coming in the future, because their current piece that they're doing right now is installing subsurface units that are very expensive. It's the most expensive part of the job. So as that comes in, we'll go right back out to Army Corps again and keep that flowing back in.
I'm sorry, what, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, how does that work? Why does Army Corps provide a reimbursement?
So Army Corps had a supply of funds for water quality improvement projects within the watershed that they could use. And speaking with the DEC, they said we set up a relationship with Army Corps so that when they had funds available, they reach out to us and say, hey, you have a project. The 2 projects that we chose were outside of the FAD areas where we lacked funding. These were 2 expensive projects that matched how much money they had available, so we were able to, we have to spend it first, but they'll give us a 75% match.
How quick is the turnaround?
Previously, it was a little bit slower than we were comfortable with, so we're gonna hope to nudge them along. I do expect to get both by the end of the calendar year, but hopefully they might be able to expedite that a little.
Real good? Kevin?
Yeah. We are at still 755 kilograms with open construction occurring on everything in green. As you see, Winery 40 is the project that we were just discussing in Yorktown with Army Corps reimbursement coming. I expect to have those 30 kilograms completed by the end of 2024. Some plantings will need to take place in the spring as well, but as biofiltration has the piece of the biofiltration project that we can get credit for will be completed this calendar year. So that'll chop us up to about 780. And we continue to move forward with installation agreements is the biggest hang up on the project in yellow currently. But they're all inching closer to being able to just get into the ground and line up for construction. All of those, save maybe 1 or 2, I expect to be a winter, spring construction. A lot of our attention right now is going towards Chem 10B 1000, which as you can see is worth 75 kilograms. So it's making sure that stays on track and pushing that forward is a priority, because that's a big swing, as I've said in the past. But we'll continue to move that one forward, and that's all.
Going on O&M?
Sure. So O&M is, what we'll be doing is reviewing all of Corey and Sophia's notes from the summer and the spring. Gonna look to release the same thing that we did last year, which was a packet of information for everybody saying, hey, you know, what we did last year was kind of a red light, yellow light, green light. Either this is okay, keep doing what you're doing, or red light, hey, this is in need of some immediate attention. So I'm gonna look to do that again this fall, keep everybody on track. I don't believe that they were able to visit everywhere, so all the towns will see my smiling face over the next few weeks. Take a look at all the remaining projects. If any bills are outstanding, if everybody has any payments to be made, we always appreciate you guys getting them in prior to the end of the year. In October's meeting, Board of Directors will remind everybody that we shifted the timelines a little bit so that we're not getting hammered with everything on January 10th for completion within the next 5 days. We'd like everybody to try to get it to us in December so that, especially at this point where it's just going to be me reviewing everything, we have to have a very firm grasp on what you guys are submitting well ahead of time. So I'll remind everybody in October as well, Board of Directors, to get that in just a little bit earlier.
All right, other business, we have in your packet, 2024 meeting dates, I assume that's just the notice that we're changing a date?
That is correct.
So if anybody has any issues with that, please get back to Linda. Couple of other updates. We had an MS4 work group that Sabrina was in on a couple of weeks ago. Tom Snow participated. It was focused on the stormwater retrofit program. I think we had a fairly good dialogue. One of the issues that came up is that, so the DEC and the DEP are currently in negotiations on a new, I'm trying to think of the VAT. I'm trying to think of the term, because you don't call it the same anymore. Water withdrawal.
Water withdrawal permit?
Yes, water withdrawal permit, thank you. What did you used to call it?
Water supply permit.
That's what it was. All right, water withdrawal permit, and we talked to Tom a little bit about, funding for the East Hudson watershed, and he said, well, nobody's requested anything. So a request was submitted to Tom Snow. I have not heard back. I did send Tom Snow an email this morning asking for a video conference between myself and our attorney, Chris. Set it up to Tom, and hopefully he's gonna get back to us on a couple of issues that we'd like to discuss with him. We've sent letters at this point to Putnam County, County Executive requesting $1.5 million to continue the operation of the organization, and Westchester County in $2 million. I have heard briefly from the county exec who said he's gonna review it with staff and he'll be getting back to me.
Is that Putnam or Westchester County?
But I have not heard anything from Westchester. I assume that the Westchester folks are taking care of that.
I believe Warren forwarded the letter to,
Debbie?
to the deputy, and he did respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would it be worth reaching out to Dutchess County at all? I mean, it is a big chunk of hauling that we do have. I don't know if it's, they may very well say no, but because they're not members, but perhaps Dutchess would support the village and town.
Dutchess get WQIP funds in '97? I don't think they did either.
No.
I don't think they were even involved.
They were involved, I think, my understanding was they didn't want it.
Yeah, so there you have it. It's not likely they're gonna be ponying up any money. And I think that is about it. Sabrina, you wanna add anything?
No, I don't really want to add anything. I think it's just frustrating. Working with the state, they just seem to always want to push us forward without answering any questions or providing us any resources. So, I think that, I know that my town supervisor would very much like to have a legislative meeting with all of our representatives and talk about this issue. So, we'll see what happens. Has she reached out to you, Rich?
Your supervisor?
Yes,
I was
Victoria
on-
Tip.
I think I was,
You just gone?
well, I don't have to answer that, I guess. Well, for everybody here, I was on a conference call, I believe, with her and representatives of Mike Lawler's office, and we had a good conversation with Mike Lawler. I don't know if the federal government can do anything for us, but in light of the Supreme Court decision where it was found that some of the agencies are overreaching, you know, they might look into it. I did send a letter down to Mike Lawler's office in detail, you know, describing in detail some of the issues we had with the MS4 program. And I've also been in conversations with Matt Slater and Peter Harkin's office, so they're all aware that we're having difficulties, and, you know, not only with the, you know, the staffing and the timing of all this, but also with the funding of all this. So it's not that we don't want to do it, but, you know, they need to be a little bit more reasonable and provide funding. Last issue I have is, we sent around the notice about everybody contributing for the 11 through 15 work plan. I've gotten 6 responses back from all the municipalities. I'm hoping everybody, or at least the majority, are gonna participate in this. We are planning to have the East of Hudson Watershed Corporation send out invoices. We're okay with doing that.
How do you feel about that?
Can we, since it's a coalition issue,
Well,
can we actually send out an invoice?
so let me ask Vinnie. All right, so we're planning on the municipalities funding the corporation to develop the work plan for the MS4 retrofit requirement,
Years 11 to
11 through 15. There shouldn't be a problem with the corporation sending out invoices as long as the corporate, you know, the corporation members are paying for it.
you're gonna pay to send out the invoices?
Well, it's gonna,
My understanding is that funding is through your 10, on both water quality and the DEP contract. So anything to do with years 11 through 15 is not something the corporation should be doing. That's a
unless we're paying for it.
Yeah, unless you're paying.
Right. And that's what I said, as long as we're paying for it, there's no issue.
You're paying to do the study, or you're paying to do the legwork to send out invoices?
Both.
There will be enough money to cover staff time to send out invoices, if that's the.
There should be,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, obviously.
But you
assuming everybody participates.
But you can send out the invoices before you get the money.
We're gonna have to back charge,
I'll bring
right?
our check in person.
I was
so you
actually
have the
gonna bring
money.
a check today and I forgot it.
I just become concerned that it's an accounting issue, and I'll just remind everybody, you know, we're supposed to get an annual accounting of, you know, corporation funds for both the water quality fund and the DEP contract that was due on March 31st, and we still have not received it
And there were discussions about that this morning, about moving that forward.
with you. With us?
No, with the person who's
Internal.
working on it.
Okay. You know, we're also supposed to sign letter agreements with the counties that touch on reporting for water quality funds, and it's kind of hard to sign those agreements when we don't have the accounting for the water quality funds for 2023. It's also kind of difficult to enter into a new contract for this $10 million when we don't have, we're not in compliance with current contracts. I become a little concerned when you start blending, you know, who's sending out invoices and when it's done and how that's accounted for. And I'm not sure we have the visibility to know whether you charged it to the towns or not, based on that enormous table we get.
We will make sure the visibility is there.
Yeah, it would be like non-SRP money.
If you're paying for it with some other funds, I'm sure it's fine. I don't understand how you're gonna
Okay.
do the work before you get the funds, but if you guys could.
Well, how much is it gonna take to do some invoices? I mean, we've already, listen, you know, the allocation has already been made.
Sure. Sounds like you guys are gonna do it your way anyway, so.
We're just kind of informing you.
Okay, yeah. That's good, you know, when.
So that's all, Linda, you just need to keep track of the, whatever time that you put into the thing up there, and we'll bill that out, you know, as separate from the normal.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions? You made it back.
Nothing like having your computer reboot automatically.
Yeah, there you go.
Welcome to Windows 11.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Windows 11 does?
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm dreading. So to answer your question, I believe I was on a conference call with your supervisor or one of your town board members, I'm not sure which, sitting here right now. With
Yeah.
my older staff, and I did send a letter, I think I copied you on it,
Mhm.
down to my Bowler's office about some of the issues.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't talked to her. I saw a copy of that letter, but I know she was very upset when I told her about the funding issues and the need to obtain additional funding.
Okay,
Do you wanna have the executive session on, ten MB? Or,
okay, we can. Do you wanna have any? Yes, she does.
alright,
All right, I'll make